Got to start off when talking about how the Devils have come back to tie the series. You got to start off with talking about Akira Schmid, right? I mean, this guy, you talk about a gamble by Lindy Ruff, put in this 22-year-old in net, no playoff experience, comes in there, and he's just like stone cold, right? Jack said he's basically like stone cold in there, no emotion, he's calm as hell. He's like stone cold Schmieds, and he's just, he's just able to be solid, and you got to respect that, and you got to give a lot of credit to him. I think that's a huge part of how they've come back, and the past two games he's got just no panic. He's calm in net, and what to me what stands out the most is how little wasted movement he has in that crease. I think sometimes when you get in there and there's jitters, or even just having the stage that he's on, and you're in the playoffs, you're against the Rangers, you're in MSG, the Garden is hostile, it's just wild out there, and he's just not fazed by it, right? And he's again, he's like stone cold in there, right? And he is not fazed by the fans, he's not fazed by being down 0-2, and he's out there and he's just doing his thing. And I think that the efficiency in his movement is what really shows how, and even though he didn't say, or he said he was nervous, and he said he, was nervous about playing the game, he didn't show it. And I think the fact that he's able to use his size, he's a huge dude, 6'5". He doesn't have to challenge too far out on his crease. He plays his angle so well. And I think that those two things, if you compare just how, and it's, I don't know if it's unfair, but it's, if you compare him to Vitek, I think there's much more also, I have to say this, there's much more that went into the lack of success that Vitek had and the Devils had in the first two games. I think a lot of it had to do with how the Devils played in front of Vitek. But also Vanecek's not as big of a goalie, and Vanecek's more athletic, and he challenges more, he moves left to right more, and I think that the way the Rangers played, the way that their offense plays, the Devils really benefited from having a bigger guy in net, because just the way the goals were going in, it wasn't necessarily Vanecek's fault. It was just more of, you have a guy who's in there and he provides a different look from a player's perspective when shooting on him. It's just a different scenario, right? I don't know if one is necessarily better than the other. I mean, clearly in the series, though, like, Schmid has found success, but I don't think that it means Vanecek is a bad goalie by any means. He carried the Devils throughout this whole season, being the starter. So I think that, it was more of how the Devils played in front of him. But again, like, even Schmid, whatever it is, he played really well this season when called upon. I think a lot of Devils fans who've watched him will go back to that Ottawa game when he came in for relief. I think Blackwood was in there, or we went down, or maybe Vanecek was in there, but he came in with because the other guy got hurt, comes in, plays really well. I think it was the third period he came in, and then they go into overtime. He plays really well at 3-on-3. They win it, and you look to those kind of moments where you have a backup goalie who is really reliable when called upon in those situations. And honestly, I think with this, him stepping in the playoffs here and just the way he's playing, I wouldn't feel like he is considered a backup, right? I think at this point he really can fight for that 1A, 1B spot, and even overtake Blackwood a little bit, because this is the kind of goaltending that really can spark a team, and clearly we see it. Just the fact that he's back there, and he can provide that level of confidence and provide that level of I guess what am I trying to say? Provide that level of reliance on that side of the ice that gives the offensemen and gives the rest of the players the ability and the confidence to go do what they got to do and not have to worry about the goaltending. I think in years past the Devils had to worry about goaltending a little bit, and this time around they don't have to do so, and so that's a huge thing for them. And personally, I also love the fact that Lindy in the post game where he was saying how Marty, him, and Fitzy and the rest of the coaching staff made that decision to go with Schmid, and that's kind of cool to see, like, the, Marty being in on that decision. I'm sure, there's a lot of just like input from a goaltender's mental perspective from Brodeur to know that, okay, well, you're coming in, you're a young kid, and Marty was young when he came in and played his first playoff game. Does that affect you, or are you too young to kind of understand the situation? So I'm sure that there was talks about that, and yeah, I mean, look, overall, it's still tied 2-2 at the time of making this video, and we'll see how that rest of it goes. But so far, you got to give a lot of credit. This series could have basically been over had it not been for Schmid. So, got to give credit to Stone Cold Schmid. What? Coming in the series? What? Stopping the Rangers? What? In Madison Square Garden? What? No, but all right, that's it for me.